Hi, this is Kylie. I'm just making this video so that you can learn about what worked for Portugal with children and what didn't. So first off, we're in Lisbon here. It was really fun. Lots of stairs. I was glad we didn't have a stroller and that we had our backpack. We got in, we looked for a fado dinner. It's a type of music that is played in Portugal during dinner. So here's our first night, our first dinner. We like to eat outside because in Portugal they like to have long dinners. So it was nice to be outside so that the toddler could run around while we ate. And then the second day we looked around Lisbon. We went to the monastery. This is us walking around the monastery. Thankfully, our 18-month-old would occasionally nap in the backpack, so there she is taking a little nap. It's really beautiful. I'm glad we went inside. So in Portugal, if you have a baby under 2, you're pregnant or disabled, you get to skip the line. So for the monastery, we just walked right in, but my sister who went with us had, I think, an hour and a half long wait in line. I would say the monastery is worth the wait. So this is us at the Belém Tower. I really liked the Belém Tower because they had this little beach area that you see my toddler playing in. They also had a huge grassy field that we played in for a long time. The tower itself was really beautiful. However, the inside was maybe not worth an hour and a half wait. Here's a musician playing outside. Outside the tower had really fun vibes. It's definitely worth going to go look at. And we just walked around and looked at some pretty fountains, and it was a really warm day, I think 90 degrees. And then we went in August. We booked an evening sail. My husband and I really liked it. My daughter ended up watching a lot of Miss Rachel during the sail. But it was definitely a beautiful way to see the city and to have like a tour for the toddler. She liked being on the boat. And then in Portugal, they drink a lot of cappuccinos, so that's our morning coffee or cappuccino. So we went to take the train. We did a day trip to Sintra, which was about, I think, 35-minute long train ride from Lisbon. We didn't rent a car anywhere we went. We were able to just use the trains. So we went out to Sintra and we saw 2 castles. So this is the first of the 2 castles that we saw. I think it would have been hard to do more than 2 castles in one day, just with the 35-minute train ride. We went into the town for lunch, which was really beautiful. I recommend it. They had really delicious lunch places, cute little shops, and kind of a little rest time, I guess, for the toddler. She had a lot of fun at the castles. The castles have like a lot of gardens, so she ran around a lot. And then you can wait to go into this castle, and then it has really cool caves at the end. So he's making our little custard desserts. They were so delicious. We ate way too many of them. So here's the little shopping areas. This was actually the only place that we purchased souvenirs our whole trip. Then we got the sea bass for lunch. My toddler ate a surprisingly amount of sea bass that trip. So that was good because a lot of the diet of there it's a lot of fish and rice. So this is the Penne Castle. We, again, since we have the toddler with us under 2, we were able to just walk right in. And they actually let my sister and her husband walk right in with us. This was the only place that allowed visitors to come with us inside. All the other places, my sister would have to wait in the line while my husband and I and daughter walked right in. But it was kind of nice because then it allowed for that like toddler play. This was my favorite castle, like a Disney Princess Castle. So we really enjoyed looking around. And again, I was glad we had the backpack here because there were a lot of stairs. There's no elevators pretty much anywhere in Portugal. So if you do bring a stroller, you will probably have to carry it up a lot of stairs while you were there. I think my toddler liked the garden area more than the castle, but that's okay. And then this is our dinner that night. And then we took the train up to Porto. I don't think it was too long of a train ride, maybe 3-ish hours. And we actually ended up staying on the beach out in Porto. I really liked that area. It was nice and cool. Inside the city, it was like 95 degrees, so it was kind of nice to be coastal. The ocean in Portugal is super cold. It's like 65 degrees. So we found this pool right on the beach that was really fun. Toddler got to play in the sand. And then the pool wasn't that much warmer. It was probably 75 degrees, but we did all end up going in because it was a very hot 90-degree day in August. So here's kind of the pool area in Porto by the beach. We're splashing around in the pool. She had a fun time with this. We're all water people, so get us to the water. And then at this pool club, they had a little drink and snack area. So we got ourselves a little Aperol spritz. It was pretty crowded, but we still had a good time. And then we also walked around the city. So pro traveling tip here, we hired a professional photographer. And here's a couple of the photos that she took of us. And then she was also kind of like a tour guide. So she gave us some good recommendations for dinner and places to see that we probably wouldn't have normally seen. And then we took a train out to Rigua. I think that was about a 2-hour train ride. And we ended up staying out there for 5 days. We went wine tasting. We drank a lot of port out there. And we actually were there during, I think it was their St. Mary festival. So they'd had fireworks on the river, which was pretty amazing. So that was from our Airbnb. We had a really awesome view of the river. And it was kind of like a relaxing point of our trip after traveling around from city to city. It was nice to kind of stay put in a little bit slower of a town. We went to the Michelin star restaurant there. The food was absolutely delicious. And in Rigua, we were able to take the train to a couple of wineries. So this is one of the wineries we went to. There it is right there. So it was nice to not have a car to carry around a car seat, but then once we were out in Rigua, we were a little bit limited to what we could do because we could only, if you could train there, we could do it or walk. So we did end up walking a little bit further than probably most people walk out there, and we kayaked on the river. That was really fun. Also a fun way to see the city because we had a kayak guide with us, and he gave us a little tour of the town. It was a pretty small town that we were staying in. And then even my toddler enjoyed the wineries. They let her pick the grapes here. And she walked around just eating the grapes while we did a winery tour. They didn't mind her coming on the tour, so there she is picking the grapes. And actually at this winery, we were able to ship a bunch of wine back to our house that we are currently still enjoying. They also make really good olive oil. Some pretty bridges there in Rigua that we went for little family walks on. The town was super cute, just a lot smaller. So it was kind of a nice rest break. We got to stop and wine taste and drink a bunch of port. And then from there, we trained back to Lisbon. And they have a little children's museum in Lisbon. So here is probably my daughter's favorite part of the trip, is this cute little children's museum that she's running around in. It had a lot of great things for older kids and younger kids. She loves digging in the sand. They had a cute little dinosaur exhibit going while we were there that she, surprisingly enough, wasn't scared of. So we had, before our flight, we had kind of a kid-friendly, fun day. That way she could have a little bit of enjoyment before we stick her on a plane for a long time. Then we also went to the aquarium. I really liked the aquarium because they had a lot of long windows, so you can kind of see that she's, not even 3 feet tall, and she can stand there and look at all the fish swimming by her. And it was also cool for me too. And then my daughter's obsessed with trams or gondolas, so we took the gondola in Lisbon by the aquarium, and we went up to the tallest building and had a drink there. It was very expensive, but great views, great drink. Toddler enjoyed this window. She played there for like an hour while we drank our drinks, and she was happy that she got to ride the gondola. There's lots of gondolas in Lisbon, which was fun to go ride. Oh, and this is our beer from McDonald's. Never seen a McDonald's have beer before. And this is our final breakfast. I'll have to look up the name of this hotel. I wish we would have stayed here. They had high chairs for kids. They had this grassy area. They had a nice kid pool. It wasn't even very expensive, but we had booked an Airbnb just maybe a quarter mile down the street. After having breakfast there, though, I definitely would have stayed in that hotel over the one that we did. I'll put the names of all these places in the comments so that you can look them up for yourself. I don't want to botch all the pronunciations of all the different beautiful places that we saw. This is our walk from our Airbnb into Lisbon. And then here we are, headed home. This was pretty much the only sleep that she got on our almost 13-hour flight. And these were the only bags we brought our whole entire trip. Thank you for listening.